Whatever the hour, whatever the film or the Eurovision drama, it's coffee time. This is Emmanuel calling from Coffee Break, where we take a break and discuss about films, Eurovision and much more. Grab yourself some mug of hot tea or coffee, take a sip, and let's dive into this. Let's talk about Good Boy. A loyal dog moves to a rural family house with his owner, only to discover supernatural forces lurking in the shadows. As dark entities threaten his human companion, the brave pup must fight to protect the one he loves most. Full disclosure, I'm a cat person, and this film didn't quite convert me. This is a horror film, but told entirely from the perspective of a dog. And the novelty of this idea does add to the originality and the charm of the film. Fear is subjective, and I personally wouldn't call this film petrifying. It definitely has some chill-inducing moments and some distressing visuals, but it didn't have this overwhelming sense of fear and threat that I was hoping for it to have, especially given that it's told from the perspective of a dog. Where there's something wrong with the owner, clearly, but this dog also sees a lot of shadows and ghosts potentially. We don't really know what's going on, and the film doesn't provide a whole lot of answers. Is everything going on inside its head, or is this house haunted? Is the owner possessed? We don't really find out. And that ambiguity was what eventually won me over. It's kind of a weird situation here because the element that was the saving grace for me was also what sort of detracted from the final product. Because I kind of admire and appreciate whenever a film embraces ambiguity and makes a point to have you live the theater without everything explained to you. But I also found the film very repetitive and that it didn't have enough to offer plot-wise. It didn't have a thematic exploration. It clocks in at 70 something minutes. It's super quick, it blows along, but the extremely short runtime, I would assume it was due to plot limitations. And the film not having that one scene that I'm going to remember for days and weeks to come, and the fact that this film doesn't really have that one scene that I'm just going to remember for days and weeks and months to come, and that it quite honestly I quite honestly didn't find it all that scary, did result in a mixed first impression. I do, however, respect the novelty, and Indy the dog is fantastic in this. This is a very impressive animal performance, and I don't believe I have seen a live-action film with an animal as its protagonist. But I wish it had done more with it. I wish that it would have pushed the experimental boundaries of its very original and unique ideas. For instance, the film starts out without showing us a whole lot of faces, not clearly anyways. They are hidden in shadows. The edit of the film often cuts away from faces whenever they turn around or they are on the edge of the screen. The film is definitely framed and edited in a way that doesn't showcase facial characteristics. So I was assuming that the film would 100% commit to the idea of a movie that would be shot and directed through the POV of an animal. and that the fact that we don't quite understand what's going on was part of the intellectual limitations of an animal. Dogs don't understand human language, they don't understand English, and their emotions are very much so primal and based on instincts. But then there is some information fed to us from the human characters that only a person would understand. Also, the film contains a lot of dialogue free sequences, and so it heavily relies on sound design, not jump scares per se, but sound mixing and sound editing. And the work from the sound department here is very competent. This is a competently made film. I just didn't find it all that memorable. There's also a very out of place dream sequence of sorts that had me wondering whether dogs could dream. Would I recommend it? If you're a dog person or a horror fan, this is a film tailor made for you. It's a necessity for you to see. It's kind of in the contract. But as a quick original October release, this was competently made. I'm going to give Good Boy a B minus. And that is a wrap. Thanks so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Also, make sure to follow me on multiple social media platforms, including Letterboxd, for more film-related content and the Awards Expert app for real-time Oscar predictions. The links are in the description. Can't wait for more coffee breaks. And until next time, pour yourself a fresh one.